Wind tunnels have been around for well over 100 years. Now, even before powered flight had been achieved, aircraft designers like the Wright brothers used them to understand how air flowed over aircraft surfaces. Wind tunnels come in many different sizes and can reach speeds from 1 mile per hour to over 17,000 miles per hour. Most are used for testing aircraft, but they've also been used for testing things like cars, submarines, buildings, golf balls, and even wheelchairs. Wind tunnels are fairly simple devices, but have you ever wondered how one works? For some answers, I spoke with NASA Langley researcher Luther Jenkins to find out more.
Well, a wind tunnel is actually a simulator. It allows us to simulate the conditions that an airplane or some other type of vehicle is actually going to experience as it's operating. So instead of building a full-size aircraft or a full-size car, we actually build a small-scale model testing the wind tunnel to see how it's going to perform. And once we see that it has the performance characteristics that we desire, then you may take it and start manufacturing it on a mass scale. Anything that's going to be exposed to the air or has to travel through the air can actually be tested in the wind tunnel to see how it will perform.
Earlier you mentioned that wind tunnels come in different sizes, correct?
That's true.
Great. So how does that work? The bigger the fan, the faster the speed?
Tunnels come in all shapes and sizes, but they're actually just two types of tunnels. One is an open return wind tunnel, and the other one is a closed return. And what it describes is the way the air flows through. In an open return wind tunnel, the inlet or the opening to the tunnel is open to the atmosphere or the environment, and the exit, or where the air comes out, is open to the environment. In between, what you have is your test section where you actually put your model, your test article, and then you have a diffuser which actually causes the air to slow down a little bit before it hits the fan, and then the fan is downstream, so it actually pulls the air or draws the air through the tunnel like a vacuum cleaner. And then in your closed return tunnels, those are a little bit more complicated because the air flows continuously around a loop. You have to have turning vanes in the corners to actually turn the air so it moves through nice and smoothly. You have a fan which is actually providing the air that goes through the tunnel, and then you have your test section just like in the open return wind tunnel where you would place your model. Now, all tunnels don't have fans. Some use just air sources. I mean, you can hook an air bottle up to the tunnel and turn it on and the air flows through the tunnel.
Is air the only media that you can use in a wind tunnel?
No, actually, wind tunnels use a variety of media. You can use air, you can use water, you can use nitrogen, you can use freon, you can use helium. And all of these different gases are used to actually produce certain conditions that the design or the aircraft is going to actually see when it flies.
All right, so why do we still need wind tunnels? I mean, can't computers today do the simulation?
Well, computers can be used to do a lot of the simulation work, but just like the Wright brothers, they would start off doing testing in the wind tunnel, and they had to do it over and over and over again until they arrived at the final design. Whereas now, a lot of that work could be done on the computer, but you would still, once you come up with your final design, you want to test it in the wind tunnel just to make sure that all of the things that you predicted with the computer occur in reality.
Sure.
A wind tunnel is a valuable tool for an engineer. Every plane that flies, every car that travels along the road, every bus, every ship, it's tested in the wind tunnel to make sure it's going to perform as designed. And in that regard, we save time, we save money, and we also save a lot of lives.
So remember, the next time you ride in a plane, a car, or even hit a golf ball, it was probably tested in a wind tunnel first. Sure wish I had a wind tunnel behind me now. Perfect.